My name is Gregory Piccirilli, and this is my persuasive speech. For many years, dairy milk has been the staple of kids growing up because older generations have been convinced that drinking dairy is the best source of calcium and is essential for your health. This is mostly because of propaganda and advertising from companies that have convinced people that dairy milk is the best source for their calcium and will help build strong bones. One of the major contributors is the "Got Milk" slogan invented for the California Milk Processor Board that I'm sure everyone has heard at some point. In 2012, the average American was estimated to consume 199 fluid pounds of milk per year, which equates to about 2 cups per day. But this number has been declining in recent years as people are starting to realize that there are better alternatives to dairy. In 2010, the retail sales of dairy milk was at 54.3 billion pounds, but has gone down to the low of 45.8 billion pounds in 2017. Personally, I was deluded about this too until recently when I took the time to look at the nutritional data and do some research to discover just how bad for you milk can actually be. We'll start by looking at those facts about the nutrition and then look at other information about how milk is produced in such mass quantities. So let's look at some of those nutrition facts about dairy milk. What many people still don't realize is just how bad dairy milk is in terms of the actual nutrition it provides. For example, in a 1 gallon jug of milk that only has 1% milk fat in it, which is on the lower end of what you can purchase in milk, it has 1.5 grams of saturated fat per serving, 12 grams of sugar per serving, and 110 calories. You may be surprised to know that dairy milk also contains cholesterol. In that example of a 1 gallon jug of 1% milk, it would have 15 milligrams or 5% of your daily recommended value for cholesterol. And this might not seem a lot, but it really can add up if you have 2 cups a day, and you shouldn't really be consuming that much cholesterol at all. I mean, considering that a serving generally is only 1 cup for a cup of milk, and 1 gallon jug has 16 cups in it, this can really add up to a lot of unnecessary sugar, fat, cholesterol, and calories. And if you buy whole milk or milk with higher fat content than 1%, it just only gets worse. In contrast, one of my favorite alternatives is almond milk. This is sold in many varieties like sweetened, unsweetened, vanilla, chocolate, and other flavors, but personally I think it tastes fine unsweetened, so I usually go for that one. And I currently have a gallon of unsweetened almond coconut milk, which we can look at for some of the nutritional data. And on this carton, it has only 35 calories per serving, 1 gram of saturated fat, 0 cholesterol, and 0 sugar. Now, these alternatives do have less protein than dairy milk and less calcium, but that can be easily obtained from other healthier sources such as cheese and other meats for the protein. And even if you only have 1 cup of milk per day, which is about my average, drinking almond milk or something similar, like there's a lot of alternatives like coconut, cashew, and other nuts as well as soy, it is clearly the healthier choice as you won't be consuming nearly as much sugar, fat, and cholesterol and calories. So it really makes more sense just to drink a healthier alternative. And these bad nutrition facts aren't the only downside of dairy milk. We'll take a look at some of the other things that are in dairy milk. So for example, dairy milk naturally has the bovine growth hormone, or BST, present. And this is just present in any milk that comes out of a cow. But to produce milk at the quantity that the market needs, the animals are often given a synthetic copy of this hormone called RBST to enhance their milk producing capacity. And while it's true that the extensive testing has been done by the FDA to prove that milk produced from RBST treated cows is identical to non-treated animals, I personally wouldn't want any of those hormones going into my body, synthetic or natural. I just don't feel the need for BST or RBST to be present. And those obviously don't exist in the healthy alternatives like almond milk and other nuts. In addition, many people can't properly process the sugar that is in milk called lactose, not even counting the added sugar that they put in there too. Approximately 65% of the human population has a reduced ability to digest lactose after infancy, with even higher rates in among certain demographics like East Asians, who have as much as 90% of some adults in some of those communities experiencing lactose intolerance. And this condition results in stomach pains, excessive gas, and constipation. There are even lactose-free versions of dairy milk where they have this lactose sugar removed that causes many people distress, but to compensate for that, they add a lot of sugar too, and the other poor nutrition qualities that we discussed earlier really just makes more sense to drink something different than dairy milk, to have almond milk or soy milk or whatever you prefer. So in conclusion, dairy milk is not as healthy as many people believe it, as many people still believe it is. There's a lot of fat, cholesterol, and sugar present that unless you really look at the nutrition facts, you wouldn't otherwise notice. There are also things present in dairy milk like the BST hormone and lactose that cause concern for a lot of people. I hope providing you with these facts will help sway you to drink a healthier alternative such as almond milk, and that we can continue to bring down the amount of milk that Americans drink. Thank you.